Welcome to the first ever podcast episode of Adam's Random Podcast. This podcast, we're going to be talking about many things, particularly gaming and other motivation type stuff. But today we're going to be talking about bullying. I think we got to get this all settled out, all settled and done. Bullying is bullying is the worst thing you could do, like to literally make yourself look like a big boy. Because everything, it's making you look like a little boy who's it's just trying to do it for attention. You're basically making yourself look like a fool, which I can't say anybody should be happy about that. Because technically, you shouldn't be happy you're making yourself look like a fool. But what do I know? I'm just a kid who gotten bullied, and I know what it's like. So, bullying is doing something repeatedly. So, like you hit someone, that is physical abuse, all right? And you basically bullying someone is saying mean things to them constantly, not stopping when they're telling you to. Now, first sign right off the bat you're doing something you're not supposed to is by them saying to you, I don't want this done to me. Now, this could be done in like inappropriate ways or this way, bullying. So bullying, I think, is something that it affects you and everybody in, I think, similar to different ways. Some people cope with it better than others. Some people just don't care what they do and then they move on. Or people like me take it as offense because they never really had a good home life with either one of their family members, and they understand that. Like, I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. He made me feel worthless. And so whenever people are saying mean things, and some people take it in a way where they actually end up committing suicide, or in ways where it affects them and they try to do it, but their attempt is not successful. Now, again, bullying can cause many things. So it could cause like depression, anxiety, PTSD, and so much more. And I'm going to say this every time I talk. I'm going to say this on my videos. Do you want to be the reason someone has anxiety, has depression, has PTSD, like all that stuff? Do you want to be the reason they have anxiety, depression, PTSD, try to kill themselves, or they did kill themselves? Like, do you want to be the reason they do that? Like, they don't need to be bullied. They might not have a good home life, and that you're adding more stress to them when you're bullying them. Bullying is just something that makes you look stupid, alright? Yes, bullied people are literally, they put up a lot with you guys that bully. They have to go through a lot. They might go through a lot even at home. And then you adding more stress to them could just cause even more depression and suicide attempts and stuff. Like, it's not a good thing to do. Now, here's the thing, though. You bullies that bully people, I have to say, you guys are stupid, alright? I'm sorry, that might make me seem like a bully, but it's true. Because you guys are going to get in serious trouble if they end up killing themselves. And you know for 100% fact that what you're doing ain't right. So why are you doing it? Bullying is something that can affect them in ways you never thought that could affect them. So what I'm going to say, again, don't make them kill themselves. Don't make them have anxiety. Just don't bully. It's that simple. You see someone, you give them compliments. If you think they're bad, you don't say a word. You just think of it. You don't go around and say, oh, I think you're ugly. I think you're stupid. You don't matter. You should die. Like, you don't say that type of stuff to somebody, because that will hurt their feelings. I'm sick of it. I am sick of people getting bullied and then they end up killing themselves. Like, this would not have happened if you guys that bully would have kept your goddamn mouth shut and said, I'm sorry. Like, all they want to hear in their life is how they mean to somebody. They have a purpose. But then whenever you bully them, they don't see that purpose and they end their life too short. They all had a purpose. It's kind of true though. If they gotten bullied and they killed themselves, they had a purpose before. But now they don't. You ruined their purpose because of your stupid words and stupidity. I don't care if you hate school or what, you have to learn it. So bullying teachers is a whole different story. Don't do that. I mean, yeah, some teachers, I'm not going to say this, but some teachers can sometimes be a little bit annoying, but that's kind of what their job is, to teach. And sometimes teaching in a way can be a little bit annoying to some others. And for some others, they can absolutely love learning. Now, another thing is bullying autistic people. Oh my gosh, this one is getting me so fired up right now. I want to punch my freaking iPhone. You don't understand how much autistic kids do not like getting bullied. They can't help what they got. How about you walk in their shoes for once? Autistic kids with autism, they can't help that they run around, they make weird noises, they hit themselves. They can't help that. If they could, they would, but they cannot help that they're different. They cannot help that you don't like them. They can't help it. They're jealous that you're jealous of them. All right, you can't help that. All right, I think it's time for you guys to grow up, knock it off, and get a hobby. Get a life, for crying out loud. Not by bullying people. Like, get a freaking life. Literally, get a job. If you're an adult making fun of autistic kids, get a life and a job. Get a career. If you're a kid, get a hobby or something. Because bullying someone is a whole nother conversation. Anyways, you end up doing that, you could actually get into serious trouble. I think you could even get arrested. And in the real world, you ain't gonna get it tolerated if you do that in the real world. Bullying is not right, bro. It could kill someone, and do you want to be the reason they die? Because I know you don't, because you might get charged for murder. You never know. But again, I'm just trying to say, autistic kids cannot help, and disabled people cannot help that they cannot do things that normal humans can do. Alright? They would if they could, but they can't because that's how they were made. They were made with problems that the world cannot solve for them. They are born with it, they are stuck with it, they are paralyzed with it. Well, not really paralyzed, but you get it. They're stuck with it. They will always have that disability or autism. All right, and actually, autism kids are not bad. Special ed kids are not dumb. Sped kids are not dumb. If anything, they could be pretty smart, smarter than you. And if you bully, I bet your IQ is probably not even in existence. I bet you guys are probably dumber than the dumber human alive. Bullying people is the dumbest thing you could do, equaling you're the dumbest human on the human planet. You think bullying someone's going to get you somewhere in life? Well, that's probably why none of you guys are going to get anywhere. It's because you guys don't know when to keep your goddamn mouth shut. It's called you don't have nothing nice to say, you don't say nothing at all. It's not hard. Autistic kids cannot help how they are, therefore you don't pick on them. It's not hard. Get a life. If you're that freaking bored, ask someone for help. Don't go ahead and go around making other people's life miserable because yours is. Or because somebody, because you want to impress your friends. That's another thing. Don't impress your friends. If they don't like you for who you are, they're not your real friend. A real friend will legit stick up to you when you're in your worst times. And if they come into you because you're popular, then they're not your real friend. And if they come into you whenever your life is so much better, they probably don't deserve it. Because they weren't in it during your worst. If they're not celebrating it with you in your worst, then they don't get to celebrate it with you in your best. Alright, it's true. True friends will be there for you till the very end and on your worst moments. And if they weren't, they're not your real friends. So don't listen to them because they could be the reason why you're behind bars for life or for months or years. And they might as well stab you in the back. So I just try to tell you, just be careful, don't bully, be mature, be an actual human being that isn't so stupid, and have a good day. Bye.